Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to talk about the digital ghosts in our lives. The people who seem to exist completely offline. We're going to unpack what their silence can actually teach us about our own, sometimes very loud digital lives. You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? That friend who's the absolute life of the party, totally in the moment. But their Instagram feed, a complete ghost town. No stories, no photo dumps, nothing. They're right there, experiencing everything, while the rest of us are busy capturing it. And it's funny, our first thought is usually something like, man, they're totally missing out on sharing this. But have you ever just stopped and flipped that question around? What if they're the ones who figured something out? A secret to happiness that the rest of us, so busy trying to get the right vibe for our post, have completely missed. So to really get why they choose to stay quiet, we first have to understand the world they're opting out of. And honestly, that world is built on this constant, kind of low-grade anxiety, the pressure to perform your own life for an audience. Think about it for a second. You see a beautiful sunset. Taking the picture? That's the easy part. But that little pause, that tiny moment between opening the Instagram app and actually hitting share, that's where the mental gymnastics really begin. Suddenly you're asking yourself, what's the perfect caption? Something witty, but not like I tried too hard. Then comes the filter dilemma. Which one looks effortless, but also incredible? And then, the big one, will people think my life is cool enough? See? You're not just sharing a sunset anymore. You're basically asking for validation. The sociologist Irving Goffman had a brilliant way of putting this. He said, we're all just actors on a stage, wearing a mask for whatever audience we have. Well, on social media, that stage has 1 billion people watching. And every little post, every single caption, can feel like it's a permanent judgment on you. The people who don't post, they've just decided to walk right off that stage. So what is going on in their heads? This isn't just about being shy or antisocial, not at all. There's a really powerful psychological reason for it. It's called self-determination theory, and it's a huge idea in psychology. It basically says that we, as humans, are happiest when we feel like we're in control of our own choices, when we're free from outside pressure. For the non-posters, their confidence is self-generated. It's not crowdsourced from the likes of strangers, And this really boils down to 2 totally different ways of seeing yourself. On one side, you have public self-consciousness. That's driven by the constant question, how do they see me? That's looking at your life as a performance. But on the other side, there's private self-consciousness, which asks a very different question. How do I feel? And that's viewing life as an experience, something to be lived, not staged. So here is the crucial point. They see the social media game for what it often is, a place where everyone's curating, controlling, and polishing their stories, but very few people are actually showing the unedited truth. They're just not playing because they know the game is rigged towards an impossible kind of perfection. And you know what? This choice, it has real, tangible benefits. Not online, but in the real world. It's all about shifting your focus from the quantity of your connections to the quality. Yeah, research actually suggests that while people who post less might have fewer friends online, their real-world relationships are often so much deeper. Think about it. They care more about 5 close friends who genuinely know what's going on with them than about getting 1,000 reactions from acquaintances. And this difference in pressure, it's literally built right into the platforms we use every day. Instagram is a performance stage, right? There's this unspoken rule that you have to post to stay relevant. But then you have a platform like YouTube, which is more of a learning space. You can watch stuff for hours and feel zero pressure to contribute anything. It's a totally passive relationship that just gives you the mental space to explore. So let's bring this all together. It's really about a final and pretty crucial shift in how we think about our time and our lives. Look, the takeaway here is not to go delete all your apps. It's about being more intentional, more conscious. It means choosing to actually feel the sunset, not just perform it for an audience. It's about recognizing that having a passive relationship with the internet can actually be a really healthy thing. And maybe most importantly, it's understanding that privacy isn't about hiding. It's an act of self-respect. When you really put it all in perspective, it becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? At the end of it all, nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to wish they'd spent more time crafting the perfect post. They're going to wish they had spent more time simply living. So maybe that quiet friend of yours isn't missing out at all.
Maybe they've just found a different kind of light, one that's meant to be lived in, not filmed. And that, well, that's a pretty powerful thought to end on.